All right, thank you for joining us, everyone. This is CTC Live. We are recapping financial aid as our December session here, and we've got a special guest joining us today. And Wendy Martell from our CTC Foundation office is going to share with us some information about scholarships. So, Wendy, I'm going to throw it to you first.
Good morning. So my name is Wendy. I am in part of the CTC Foundation office. I'm the coordinator for scholarships. I'm going to share my screen here with you and bring up some slides to show you how to apply for the scholarships using the new scholarship platform. So let's see.
And while we're waiting for that, when will the scholarship portal open?
Scholarship portal opens January 15th and will close on February 28th. That gives us a little bit of time to get some scholarships read and scored and awarded before the May 5th scholarship reception that we're doing this year. So we're going to start off. Again, my name is Wendy Martell. I'm the coordinator here. We're located in building 104, room 107, building 104, 204, room 107. There's my email address and my phone number. So to find the scholarship information, you're going to go to the CTC homepage. You're going to click here where it says scholarships, and it'll bring you up to this page.
We're not seeing your screen, Wendy.
Oh, you're not seeing the screen. Well, why not?
I don't know.
Let's see.
There we go. We're starting.
Is it there?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So we're going to start back up here.
Okay, you might just want to maximize the screen so we can get the full
Oh.
slides on the side. I don't know, whichever's easier for you.
What in the heck? Let's see. Yeah.
And in the meantime, I'll just say hi, Mackenzie. Thanks for joining us.
Okay,
while
so
figuring that out, let me just say this is an interactive session. So if you have questions, feel free to type them in the chat, or if you have a microphone, you can convey your questions there with us that way. So either way.
Okay, is that better? Whoops.
Not so much. We've got a screen going on here.
What in the world? I don't know what's going on here. Let me try this again.
If this has worked, this works. I mean, I don't know how.
I can't. Y'all disappeared now. I can't even see you. Technology is wonderful.
Yeah, we apologize, folks. We'll get it right.
Okay, so let me try.
Like I said, if this screen works best, then we'll stay with this screen.
Okay, can you see this?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Now it went away.
Well, great. How about now?
There we go.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the main page. So this is the opening page of CTC. So you're going to go up here to students and you're going to click scholarships. Then that's going to bring you up to this page. We've changed our platform this year, so we've got Award Spring as our new platform. They're going to click on this link and it'll take you to this page. At this point, you will, for your first time sign in, you're going to go in and you're going to click on set your password, put in your information, set your password, and they'll send you an email to verify that. Then you can go back to that website and you're going to see this, and it's going to have applications. The application page will come up eventually. Let's see. You're not going to see anything right now on this page because there's nothing to see. It doesn't open until the 15th of January. So you're going to just click on the applications. Here's your application. You're going to fill in your parts here. Then it's going to go to your academic information. It's going to ask you some more questions. And then you're going to go to your qualifications section. Let's see there. There's a few more questions. And then finally your essay questions. There's not a length of time needed for the length of for the essay. So you're just going to answer the questions. Make sure you answer them completely. It's going to be scored on grammar and the questions being answered fully. Make sure you answer all your questions for scholarships. That way you know that you have all the information there. It's not going to exclude you for anything. Once you've finished filling all this out, you can go back in here and click the submit application. Then a screen's going to come up and it's going to tell you what scholarships you actually qualify for. You have until the 28th of February to make any changes that you need to that application at that time. Once it closes, you can't make any changes and it's closed for the season. But you can make changes at any point up until the 28th. So if you have any questions, you can give me a call. I'm here at the office at 526-1662, or you can email me. And just to briefly, We have Eagle Aid Emergency Assistance, Eagles Nest Food Pantry, and the Alumni Association are also housed through us. So if there's additional needs you need other than scholarship, please give us a call and we'll see what we can do to get you some help.
Yeah, the food pantry is just what it says. It's a closet full of food, so you can, if you're in need of food,
It is.
you can get some assistance there. Emergency aid also will help with some of the bills and those kind of things if you meet the qualifications and those kind of things. So and
Correct.
hopefully some of our most recent graduates will join the Alumni Association. And since we just celebrated graduation this past Friday, so. Wendy, a couple things. Now, they only have to fill out one application for all the scholarships that they qualify for, because in the past, I know people have been confused and they see, oh, I like this scholarship, I fit this scholarship qualifications, I fit this scholarship qualification. So instead of filling out all these different applications, they just need to fill out one. Is that correct?
Correct. One application does it all for you. If there's any supplemental questions for a particular scholarship, then those questions will pop up. You'll answer those questions and it'll submit those for that particular scholarship.
Great. And we offer a variety of scholarships, everything from nursing to aviation to office technology to other career technical fields. So there is a wide range of scholarship opportunities for you. And we have some generic, and they are based on merits, they are based on academics, so and they're just based on need. So again, don't feel limited like I don't have a 3.8 grade point average, so I'm never going to get a scholarship. That's not the case. So please, we have a variety of scholarships based on a variety of needs. So don't be shy about filling out one of those applications. So.
Wendy,
Absolutely.
can you share with us how much you had to give away and how much you had left last year? I think we were talking to some Lampasas High School students recently about that.
Yes. So last year in total, I gave over 634,000 awarded for scholarships. We're finishing up our first semester, and I've gone through looking at grades, and I've had about a third of the applicants didn't use their scholarships for whatever reason. They didn't enroll in classes. They didn't return to CTC. So I do have a few funds that I'm going to be able to reaward for the spring semester, which is good for the students that have been looking and haven't been able to get any scholarships.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, folks. In
It's a lot of
addition
money.
to the scholarships, you can also apply for several emergency aid grants, which I'm sure that Lucette will share with us here in just a bit. So, any questions for Wendy Martell? Again, just type them in the chat, or if you have a microphone attached to your laptop or computer, wherever your viewing device, just feel free to use that as well. So, and we'll get those rolling. So. And I'm not seeing any questions coming through right now. So Wendy, are you going to stick around? Do you have another meeting to get to, or?
I'll stick around for a little bit and see if anything comes up. If there's any
That,
questions I have, I'll be glad to answer them at any
great.
point.
That was my suggestion. You can stick around for a few minutes just in case people, start typing and they're slow typing like I am and that kind of thing. So other than that, then now from our financial aid office is Lucette Brett, and she's going to share with us some information on the FAFSA and applying and deadlines and all that fun stuff. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bruce. So I've used this PowerPoint before. I'm going to go ahead and share it again just to kind of update everybody on what's going on. We have finished up the fall term. Like Bruce was saying, we have some graduates. Congratulations to all of those who earned associate degrees and certificates. That's fabulous. Let me remind you, if you received a student loan, that you do need to complete the exit counseling now. That is a federal requirement. And you will be receiving an email shortly from me. So we have that going on. I'm going to go ahead and let's see, try to share my screen here right quick. Let's see. Are you able to see it?
Yes, ma'am. Beautiful.
Okay. So happy holidays. I know that our students are done, but we're still hard at work here trying to get some financial aid for you guys and making sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted for your applications. So here's a few reminders that we have coming up. All right. So in Santa's wonderful bag of goodies, remember that we have grants, work study programs, student loans, and scholarships that Wendy was so nice to just go over for us. Those aren't the only scholarships available. You are always welcome to apply to different areas that you may have if you're still in school, perhaps high school. say FFA, Home Ec, all of the different organizations you have there probably have scholarships as well. Your main go-to friend is going to be studentaid.gov. So the new FAFSA for next year is already out. It always comes out October 1st. So I wanted to be sure and explain that if you are a high school student or you're just wanting to attend summer and you haven't been to school for a while, you're going to need to complete the 21-22 FAFSA. They are both available at studentaid.gov, so be very careful which one you check. When you do the 21-22 FAFSA, you're going to need your 2019 tax information. And then for the next academic year, starting fall 22 over here, you're going to need your 2020 tax information. And that's going to be the 2022-2023 FAFSA. Boy, that is quite the tongue twister, isn't it? Okay. And then it's very, very simple. Like I said before, one of the big hangups that we get from the young people who are starting, they assume that because they're paying some of their own bills and working, that they're independent. As far as the federal government is concerned, they want parents helping their students all the way to the age of 24. So you may or may not actually be able to be an independent student or meet those criteria. They are at studentaid.gov. If you are military, then you can be an independent student if you are under 24 years old. So we have a lot of different qualifications. If you want to contact us, we are happy to help you with that. The tax forms that they need are always going to be 2 years prior to that particular year. We always encourage you, even if you're not going to CTC and you're going to go somewhere else, make sure that you look at all of the costs entailed for that, because we have room and board and parking. All of those different fees are going to add up. I want to remind everybody that CTC is one of the most affordable schools in the area. You can see here the total for on campus. Notice I said on campus, that does include room and board, is about $13,000. And if you can always go back and look at these or stop, pause, that sort of thing when you're looking at these on YouTube or on our webpage. Non-resident, you can see, is quite a bit more. Baylor is even more than that. So it's going to depend on if your school is a state school or a private school. So if you're concerned about how you're going to pay for school, there are free calculators online. This is an example of one of many that you can click in. You need to know kind of what you're wanting to do, maybe what classes you're going to want to take to get you started. And we have that information available. And make sure you do your research. That does include, you can contact financial aid. We are happy to help. Again, we love to help those in the community. It doesn't matter if you're Killeen, Coppers Cove, Belton, Lampasas, the surrounding rural areas. If you have any questions at all, we are more than happy to help you fill out your FAFSA or any of the other paperwork that you may be flagged for, because you're allowed to put 10 schools on there. And I do encourage the students that we've talked to, even if you just want to get your feet wet and take a course or two over the summer, it is a whole different culture and atmosphere when you're in a college class, and you are much more self-reliant when you are working with a professor or an instructor. So we are happy to help you with that too. So there's a lot of different kinds of aid out there now, and with the pandemic and the COVID going around, we still have millions of dollars that we are trying to help students with, in addition to the Pell Grant that's available. When you get a grant, the grants do not have to be repaid. And just because you feel like you are not eligible for the aid, it doesn't mean that you might not be eligible for other programs. Like Wendy was explaining, they will still use the FAFSA as a starting point for your eligibility and how much you might get on grants. The other thing I want to remind everybody is that it is a state requirement, if you are a high school senior to graduate high school, that you complete the FAFSA. And sometimes it can depend on what your income is, because the state of Texas has lost a lot of money in Pell Grants that students could have received. And we are trying to get you to look at those other outlets for funding instead of being tackled with the student loans. So I'm not saying student loans are bad, but I'm saying if you can get the funding from other sources, that it's much less of a headache. Not to mention, if you need those loan funds for later on down the road for, say, a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree, you want to make sure that you don't exceed all of your funding there. So loans have to be repaid, and they have to be repaid with interest. We're going to come up on another slide that explains through this COVID situation, they had all of the loans were at 0% interest. Fees were still applied, but the loan interest was not. That ends January 31st. So be aware of that. If you have a loan or you're thinking about taking loans out, that grace period is no longer going to be in effect, and you do have to pay them back. So there's a few steps for loans, and one of them is to log into your Eagle self-service. You're going to see some notifications. Your loans will not release unless you meet all of the requirements, and these requirements are from the federal U.S. Department of Education. So you'll have to make sure that you have your entrance counseling on file and a master promissory note that we affectionately call the MPN. Okay. And the links for those are on here. You can also find them on our web pages. And notice they all have studentaid.gov on there. Very simple, easy to follow instructions. Another caveat is that you must be enrolled in at least 6 hours for loans to release. Pell has its own set of requirements, so you may or may not be eligible for a Pell grant if you're only taking 1 3-hour class. However, your loans will not release. You must be in at least 6 hours. So be mindful of that if you're going for, say, a welding certification, because you're only allowed to take 1 class at a time. There are 4 hours typically. So once you get towards the end of that fourth or that last section of your class and you're allowed to enroll in your next class, those funds will release for those 6 hours once you've met that requirement. And then if you're out of school for 6 months, you're required to start paying those loans back. And here's another little tidbit that most students forget. If you drop your classes or you withdraw from classes and it puts you under the 6 hours, I will send you a little email that says you need to complete your exit counseling. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get funding for your spring or your summer. It just means, you know, you went below and you may not return, and the federal government wants to make sure you have all the tools necessary to make those decisions and know that you're going to have to pay that back. Okay. I'm pretty sure we don't have any questions yet, so I'm going to keep on going. So there's our little restart, and I put it in bold red letters. January 31st, all the freebies cease. I don't know that the legislature has anything on the books to maybe reinstate something like this. I hope so, because I have student loans myself, and I'm more than happy to not have that going on. So we also have what's called the National Student Loan Data System, and that's where you can check how many loans you have, who your lender is, all of that information is on there. I'm able to access that as a loan officer, but then students also have their version of it so that you can always go in and check. There are limits. As you can see here, we've got the first year undergrad and the second year undergrad. Central Texas College is just a junior college, and if you are going to be going your, say, third year as a sophomore, it's not going to increase your amount. We are not able to do that, so be mindful of that. You see the word subsidized loans here. Many people don't understand the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized loans. So a subsidy is exactly what you learned back in economics, in that the government is paying a subsidy. They're paying that interest for you while you're in school for a subsidized loan. So you can only borrow so much under the subsidized umbrella. And then the unsubsidized, as soon as you take out that loan, it automatically starts accruing interest. If you can just listen to that ching, 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 ching. So again, I discourage students from taking out loans if they don't have to because of all the other great things we have available with scholarships and the ARP grants. So I definitely encourage you to make sure that you pay attention to all of this. There are fees. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the fees. It's minimal, but the federal government is going to get their piece of that pie. So these are the plus loans. Notice that if a parent takes out a loan for you, that the fees are much higher. But there is that. At studentaid.gov, there's the explanation of the direct and the subsidized and direct, subsidized and unsubsidized loans. There's also a video for you. The interest rates are on here. These are for these dates. Interest is always changing, so you want to make sure that, again, studentaid.gov is your friend because they're always going to have the updates on there for you. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, forms, lots of forms. Okay, so if you decide, well, I'm going to school, you see all of those awards come into your email and you're like, whoa, that's awesome. And you're like, accept, 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 accept. And then you kind of think about it a while and you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to have all that stuff to pay back. And you want to change your mind about your loans. You absolutely have a chance to do that. We do have loan deadlines though. For spring, the loan deadline is going to be March 30th. So you want to make sure that you have everything set up before March 30th, because if you miss that deadline, I can't reinstate your loans at that point. So there's a loan adjustment form that we have. All you have to do is request it and say, I changed my mind. At first I rejected them. I denied my loans. I didn't want them, but something has happened and I didn't realize that the avionics was so expensive and I need a little extra help. Well, we're happy to do that. The handbooks are also available online, and we're always more than willing to share that information with you if you can't find it on studentaid.gov. We talked about the exit counseling. So the tricky part about the exit counseling is if I'm sending you that email, it means the financial aid department has already put a hold on your account. If you haven't registered for your classes for the next term, you may not be able to because of the hold. You must do that commitment for the exit counseling in order for us to remove the hold. It's not a CTC requirement, it is a federal requirement. And it doesn't mean necessarily that you're not coming back or that you don't want to come back to school. So don't let that deter you. So we also have a work study program, much like Santa's elves. They're working all the time. We have students that come in and we are able to help them out on campus. You are able to make a selection of some of the different departments where you would want to work. And it's definitely worth checking into. Brandy Sappenfield is wonderful. So if you have questions about doing the job work study programs, we are happy to do that. We can do them on or off campus. However, the North Pole is a little bit out of our jurisdiction.
Yeah, we do have offices across the continental US and Europe and so forth, but
Absolutely.
we just haven't quite conquered the North Pole yet.
No, I know, right? I'm sure that's next. We'll get with the chancellor. I'm sure he's got a plan. So the Title IV funds, they do have specific requirements, like I mentioned before. And one of them is you must have a degree plan on file. The classes you take must be required by that degree plan. They also have to begin and end in the term. So even myself, for example, signed up for a Spanish class. It started in October, but it didn't finish until January. Well, if I had wanted to get a Pell Award, I wouldn't be eligible to use it for that class because it extends into the spring term. So be very mindful of that. You have to have at least 6 hours for them to release, and you must have an MPN and your entrance counseling on file. Now, one more thing about the MPN, just because say you were at Tarleton and you completed an MPN with them, we're going to need, if you transfer here, to make sure that we have an MPN with our name on it, and then we can get you all set up. Okay, so we kind of, whoa, this is like slow-mo here today, isn't it? Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. So let's see what we've got here. We've got some state grants that are available. The great state of Texas is more than happy to help you. And the way we identify you is through your Fafsa. So if you feel like you may be eligible, you're already getting a Pell Grant, and you don't already have a Texas grant, make sure that you contact us to see if you're eligible. That goes with other institutions as well. So again, I said 10 schools you're able to list 10 schools on your FAFSA. So every school may have different grants available. So make sure that you check for deadlines. That's important. Just like Wendy was explaining, there's a certain window for scholarships. And luckily, we're right there on the door of that for January and February. So make sure that you read into that. It can be pretty competitive, but as Wendy was saying, she has money to give. Please apply. And then I kind of go through all of these different things on a normal spiel here. Okay, it's all about the FAFSA. If you are undecided, you should go ahead and try to complete it anyway. That way, if for some reason you get selected for verification, we can get that taken care of and make sure you're ready to start your term. Even if you don't want to go to CTC. Again, I'm explaining this because when you complete the FAFSA, if you don't use identical information that you use to fill out your tax information, for example, I live out in the boonies. I live on a county road. So if my address shows capital C, capital R as the abbreviation for county road on my taxes, but then I complete the FAFSA and I spell out county road, it will flag me for a verification on that. I don't know why. I'm hoping that at some point they update their software. Um, so be aware of it's looking for any inconsistencies between your FAFSA application and what the IRS is seeing. Those databases do talk to each other. It's hard to get one over on the IRS when you're filling out a FAFSA. Okay. Apply even if you don't think you're eligible. One of the other biggest problems that we have is that you still have to accept the award from the school. So if you've applied for admissions to CTC or any other school, you must be checking your email that you have set up for that to make sure that that you're able to do that. So if you don't respond to that school, you may not have actually accepted the award. So make sure that you're paying attention to those communication platforms like Eagle Self-Service. Every school has their own communications platforms. All right. Let's see what we've got here. And there's my little foundation thing. Wendy, you need to critique me. That's that's an old one I've got on there. Apply early and often to scholarships that you can. Now remember, CTC's window is January through February. There's different types, but ours, luckily, as she explained, is one application for many, many scholarships. Just make sure that you're very detailed in all of those spaces that you have to fill out there. If you're not at one of our web pages, be aware of scams, because if they're requesting money, yeah, it's a scam. It's not a good thing. Okay. And we are happy to help. You can call the Scholarship Foundation, like Wendy had instructed before, and I'm sure she's happy to help you. Whatever you do, don't give up. There's a way to pay for school. We will do everything we can to help you find that avenue. And I can speak, I know that when one of the local schools around here went under, we had a lot of students coming to us asking for help. And even though Wendy couldn't help them at the time, we found local resources, community resources in the Bell County area that was able to assist these students. So just don't ever give up. Think long term. Sometimes it takes a little resilience and persistence. May need to throw in a little gumption there to get it done. So some trusted resources, again, can't stress enough, studentaid.gov. If you see that in the tagline, it's going to be their main page there. We've got the Gear Up Texas, which is an amazing resource. And of course, ctcs.edu. Anytime you go in there, it's a wonderful resource to have, because it takes you to different to, let's see if we can get that to go off. Yeah. So the other thing that I get a lot of calls, and they have nothing to do with financial aid. And I think a lot of times they think, wow, you really know your stuff. But no, I don't. This is what I do. I come in here to the main web page. I click on students. I come over here to this search, and whatever it is I want, I put it in here, and it's going to just stay on the CTC website. Okay. If you want scholarships, it's in there. Student tools, I always remind students that those are our platforms. You can pretty much get to anywhere you need to go. And that when you're doing the, I'm not going to click on eForms because mine's from an employee standpoint, we still have millions of dollars to give away for the ARP grant. So if you are interested in that, you see this red, I'm, I'm, I'm
We're
hoping
still,
that you guys see that. Is that,
no, we're
am
still
I
seeing
still
your
sharing?
PowerPoint. We're still seeing your PowerPoint.
Okay, so let me
I'll
see
be
if I
glad
can.
to share the website if you want me to on my end, or if you got it there, that either way is what
Sure,
works.
go ahead, because I was like on the main webpage pointing to those red letters at the top where the
Gotcha.
COVID relief is. We still have millions of dollars to give away. So all you need to do is click on those red letters up there that say
Everybody seeing the screen?
COVID-19 return to campus.
Are we seeing the
Um,
screen?
Absolutely, I can see it.
Okay, we'll click it on it as you
Hmm.
suggested.
And then where it says financial assistance, it's that second paragraph there. You go in, it's going to have all of the links. We do have a reskilling grant. The scholarship link is there. The ARP is there. We've already given out all of the Carissa funds, but we still have the American Rescue Plan available. It is $1,000 for a 3-hour class for that grant. That may mean you don't have to take out a loan. How wonderful is that? So I encourage you to apply for spring and get that taken care of. We're going to give them out until we have no more funds available. I haven't read anything about the politics of any more COVID relief for this. So if you haven't gotten it, please make sure that you apply. If you click on the blue lettering that says American Rescue Plan, that will give you some more information and take you directly to the application there. And you fill it out in its entirety. It is all digital, electronic there in your eForms. So I highly encourage you to do that. And that is financial aid in a Christmas nutshell.
Right. And basically, Lisette, the American Rescue Plan and the reskilling grant, that could mean a free semester for a lot of students. So we're
Absolutely.
giving away free education for a semester here by just simply applying for one of these grants. So
Yes. And I still have students that say, well, I thought it was a scam. No, it's not. So I include the links directly from the main webpage so they understand it's not a scam. I just can't stress enough, everyone pays taxes. If you're not paying income tax, you're still paying taxes when you go to the store. So if you are in school trying to better yourself, you are eligible for these funds. Absolutely.
right. And I want to take it back to the home page temporarily. And if you can just kind of walk through some of the financial aid page, go to students, click on
Financial
financial
aid.
aid, and
Hmm.
there's some contact information here for live
Right.
chat and other information that dates and so forth, as you can see, that would be relevant for students as well. So,
Absolutely. We have some calculators over there on the side that can help you. And it explains all about the eligibility that I was just talking about. The terms are all listed there. um, if you want to drop a class, how that can potentially affect you. So once you're in school and you're doing well, what we do is we check on your SAP status or your student academic progress. And we want to make sure that you're A, completing classes, and B, that you're completing them at least a 2.0. And so that's what those calculators are set up for so that you know what your completion rate is. Because if you fall below a 67%, or below a 2.0 GPA, then you may receive a warning or be put on suspension. And I believe they have already run SAP. I'm not sure that those have gone out yet, the emails and whatnot. So the current students will be getting confirmation on that in their Eagle self-service about their status. So
there's some contact information. So to reach the financial aid office and their location if you want to stop by and give your best to Lucette. There you go.
absolutely. I do want to say that we've had a hiccup with our phones recently, so don't give up. If you can't get it through that line there, that's the 1508 line, um, please try to get into the live chat, or I believe, let's see, if you go to types of aid up there a little bit higher, Bruce, nope, same side, yep, types of aid, and then go to loans. That's me, my department, woo woo. And I believe, do they have my direct information on that bottom of that page? Yeah, we got a lot, don't we? And absolutely, and we went all through that in the repayment.
There we go.
There we go. Nope, it's just the general line. So if you want to put my number up there, it's going to be 254-616-3313 is the direct line for the loan department.
Okay, I will put that out there as soon as I'm through sharing. So we appreciate that. I'm going to go back just a little bit to the homepage here and
Okay.
hit on scholarships for Wendy again. As Wendy pointed out, there is a new scholarship link here with Award Spring. And again, Wendy, if I'm correct, you open January 15th, right? Through February 28th. Good deal. All right. And also under the scholarship page, as Wendy pointed out, there's Eagle Aid. There's ways if you would like to donate to a scholarship. If you're in need of food assistance there, this is the resource page for you. And Wendy's contact information is right here, 526-1662, if you have questions when asking about scholarships and so forth. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing here. And then the loan info phone number 254-616-3313. There we go. That's in the chat. There we go. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing all this great information. I just, we have so many things to offer students and for them to help them get through school. I mean, it's tough for students these days. And as we said, loans are one thing, but we certainly encourage you to try to get as many grants as possible so you don't leave school in debt and start out your next phase in life by starting out in debt. So, and the scholarships are definitely a way to help avoid some of that. And again, it's a very simple online application. One application necessary for many, many different scholarships of which you qualify for. And again, it could turn out to be free money for you. So again,
absolutely,
take advantage of those opportunities. So
well, and if you're brave enough to go full time with 12 hours, it's a $2,000 grant that you don't have to pay back. And I'm just saying that pays for everything if you're local and for most of it if you're not local. So
yep.
Just give me a call. I'm happy to help walk you through it.
Great. All right, Wendy, any last words of wisdom for our viewers here? You're on mute. I think you're muted, Wendy. There we go.
January 15th to February 28th, those are key dates. If you have any questions or need assistance filling anything out, just give me a call and we can walk you through it. We're here to help.
1666, is that correct?
1662.
62. Oh, my fault. There we go. And again, we'll be posting the scholarship dates on our website and social media throughout when the portal opens. So just to remind students of when they can apply. So thank you, Wendy, for your time. We appreciate it. Lucette, one last nugget of wisdom for our students.
One last nugget of wisdom. Apply for the grants. That's all I can say is, like Wendy was saying, there's so many different scholarships out there. My last nugget is, even if it's a health one, I believe that Wendy had spoke with, if you have diabetes, there's actually a grant. So, you just never know. Apply, please apply. Let us help you, help yourself, and make a better life for you with an education. We're absolutely here for that.
And that's perfect. And just like Lucette said, if you don't know, you need to ask. And if you don't know, you got to apply. So, ask those questions if you're unsure and apply. If you think you're unsure, you don't qualify, ask, apply. So that's the way to get things done. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We wish you both a very happy holidays, and all our viewers out there, happy holidays. We'll be closed on this Friday will be our last day, and then we'll reopen up again on Monday, January 3rd. So if you have questions about scholarships or financial aid, preparing for the spring semester, get those situated this week. Otherwise, we'll be closed for 2 weeks. So again, you don't want to
Absolutely.
wait till the last minute because things get kind of hectic that last week, last couple weeks before the semester starts. That's where everybody starts bombarding these offices. So we want to make sure that
Right.
you get your info in a timely manner. So, all right.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you
right.
for
Thank
your
you guys
time,
so much.
Bruce. I know that you've been working hard and we appreciate all that you do for us, making our life with this technology easier. So
Well,
thank
thanks,
you.
Miss.
I
I
hope you get a
appreciate that.
good rest.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And that just comes with the territory. So, but I'm just sad that we couldn't get the live stream working on Facebook today, but we have recorded the program and we will try to get that out there on YouTube in some form or fashion for those who have missed something or those who want to get this great information and review it at their leisure. So, that's just another avenue that we're gonna do for you. So, all right. Well, again, happy holidays, everybody. Thank you again,
Merry
and we'll
Christmas.
see you in the new year. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.